It should be the most wonderful time in crypto. Are we in a crypto bear market? Is this the end of a bull market? We are in quarter 4 of the post-halving year where we typically see euphoria for all altcoins, but it has not happened. Have we now got a whole year of brutal losses, or is this cycle different? We are going to be talking about that in today's video, and I'm going to be giving my opinion on meme coins and altcoins that I believe everybody are interested in, including the ones in Suppo's picks. If you want to know more, watch on. My name is the Suppoman, your superhero of 100 to 1000x gems. If you love content like this, make sure you smash a like on this video and let me know that you love seeing content like this, and make sure that you subscribe because you don't want to miss out on my commentary, because I have been in the crypto market now for 8 years, and in that 8 years I have seen all of the bad times, all of the good times, and I am the one that has navigated people to life-changing money. So make sure that you subscribe. Now, we are in a very tumultuous time in this crypto market where we are now seeing everything begin to unravel, and we're beginning to get a true picture of where are we at in this crypto market. So as I said, we're in quarter 4 of the post-halving year, typically the most bullish time in cryptocurrency. It's what everybody waits 4 years for. And we are being served a dump of tremendous proportions. So, looking at October, should have been Uptober in the post-halving year, was one of the worst in history. Of all the 14 years, there's only been 3 times that October has been bad, and those were in post-euphoria years. Okay, so the year after where we are now. So that is signaling something has changed, something has broken in the system, or we may have just gotten our top early. November, again, one of the worst Novembers in history, the second worst November. And right now where we are in December it's still looking, relatively negative when you consider how it looked in the post-halving years. 2017, 38%, 2020, 46%. So at 2%, it's paltry. Now, we are seeing honest opinions coming out of everybody. So, Wrecked Fencer has said, no rate cuts, crypto dump. Fed cutting rates, crypto dump. ETFs buying, crypto dump. ETFs selling, crypto dump. SPX 500 either pumping or dumping, crypto dump. Basically, everything equals crypto dump. Like, nothing is saving cryptocurrency right now. Like, even today, the 12th of December. Merry Christmas all, by the way. The 12th of December. And this is arguably the most bullish time, because this is the day that quantitative easing starts. And when quantitative tightening happened, that was when the bull bear market actually started in the last cycle. And yet, considering the fact that the macro environment looks insanely bullish, looks very, very positive, all we see is dump after dump after dump. And even the most trusted name in the space, not Crypto, but Benjamin Cowan. I saw a video today where he has said that we are now in a bear market. We're in the bear phase. Bear with me a second. I think that I am way too big on your screen, so let me just reduce myself somewhat. He has said, and he's one of the most trusted names in cryptocurrency, he has said that as far as the 4-year cycle is concerned, we have completed the bullish phase, and now we are in the bear phase. And the likelihood is that for the next year, so it's typically December of the post-halving year to December of the post-euphoria year, that we see the biggest losses. Okay, that's where we see that crypto goes from its top essentially to its bottom in that 1 year. And it's happened virtually every single cycle. The bottom after the 2017 top was December 20 18. In 2021, the bottom was November 2022 when FTX happened, right? So this is reasonably suggesting that by December next year, we should be seeing the bottom, and where we are from here is en route to that bottom. Okay, now they are saying such figures as $47,000 is where they're expecting Bitcoin to go, right? And so even if the trusted names, and everybody say, oh, Ben Cowan was right, Ben Cowan was right. You know, even if he is saying that the crypto market is now in a bear market, then naturally people are going to be panicking. And we are seeing that in the sentiment right now. Right now we are in just outside extreme fear. Under 25 is extreme fear, and we are on borderline. Okay, so we are feeling it. Everybody in the crypto space is feeling it. Now, we do get some days like this where we see cryptos are up. We see certain double-digit percentage gains, but that tends to be very, very short-lived. And so people call it a relief rally. People say this isn't really the beginning or the midst of a bull market. We are at the end. And I think that pretty much the whole market is in unison in that belief, okay, that we are in a bear market. And we are in a bear phase. Are we in a bear market? The difference of the two is a bear phase can happen in a bull market. A bear market is within that 2.5 year period, just after the top, covering the bottom, and then some sideways action until the halving. All right, so that is what a bear market is versus a bear phase. All right, now before I get on to my actual thoughts on that, let me just share this over to the good people of X, because at this point, right now, it's reflected very much in the traffic, the views. Basically, right now, you know, this is not a great time to be watching crypto YouTube. And in fact, crypto YouTube is virtually dead. Even crypto X is virtually dead. Nobody's looking for content because nobody likes to buy when there's fear. People don't buy in fear. People do accumulate or DCA in fear, but they don't buy. And by buy, what I mean is they buy with enthusiasm. You know, they're all up for it. They're like, I'm buying because the market's up, and I don't care at what point I enter in. I don't care if the chart is topping right now. I'm still buying. That's buying, right? And people don't do that at times like this. What people do is they're like, well, prices are down right now. Prices are really down, so I am going to DCA, right? And this year has just been catastrophic. 2025 should have been 2021. Or 2017, which I lived through, and they were beautiful times to be around, right? And 2025 has not been that in holistically. You know, it's not been that as a whole, right? This is the state of play from last year's prices on this exact day. And what you can see is near 100% losses on top 100 coins. I'm not talking about, you know, meme coins that are, you know, on Dex Screener for a day and dead the next. I'm talking about the coins that people are actively buying, coins that are actively being searched for, coins that would be seen as safer bets. And we have seen the most catastrophic losses in what's meant to be the best year in cryptocurrency. So Aptos, 90% down. Render and Pepe, over 80% down. We are talking huge losses over the year. You know, and even if you go halfway down the list, you're still at 60% losses. Like, there has been no reprieve whatsoever. This has been one of the, you know, undoubtedly the worst years in crypto I have ever seen. All right? However, I think that we are being given a signal, okay? So what typically happens in every bull market or euphoria season is we see not only a very positive altcoin season, but we see in the post-halving year a general upwards momentum as a whole. Now, this is the first time 2017 and 2021, I was making videos all the time in those years. I was getting the monster views, 500,000 views per video. At those points, because those were the most positive years, and 2025 has not been that at all. I have not had one video go over 30k, and that is impossible in a bull market, which says to me that 2025 has not played out in the 4-year cycle as part of that bullish phase in the 4-year cycle, which tells me that this is a null and void year. It tells me that actually 2025 is just a year to be forgotten, right? Now, not necessarily for us. The wider crypto market have been absolutely destroyed. Retail investors have had their asses handed to them, but if you've been following me, you have made significant gains, okay? There's so many cryptocurrencies that have done a 100x in the last year that I've spoken about. But, yes, right now, they are in significant losses right now too. The likes of, Millennial, F9 to 5, We Love Ass. A lot of these cryptocurrencies, they're all down. They're all down so dramatically right now, okay? So, so there's not been any getting away from it. Even if I've called the best multipliers this year, which I have, always have, every market I do, it doesn't matter. Nothing is safe from the avalanche of bears, okay? When the bears come, it will take everything. It will swipe everything. There is literally nothing that is safe from the bears when bear trends come in, okay? And that is why most of these cryptocurrencies, like for instance, Colin, which a year ago was $40 million and is now 400k. So it's gone down 100x from last year, right? So that's giving you an indication that how brutal last year actually was. So you can't ignore the bears. You can't fight the bears. The bears, they will have their time. But what you've got to remember is karmic forces, okay? That's what you've got to remember, karmic forces. Right now, we are seeing all-time interest levels at a low in cryptocurrency. Alex Becker isn't doing any videos. NEO Trades, who's got near 700,000 subscribers, he's getting like 10k views on his videos. That's because sentiment's right rock bottom. No one cares. The interest levels are so low. Like basically the antithesis of what you would see in a bull market, where I would get kind of 500,000 views. Alex Becker will probably get 1.5 million views. Like we're talking the opposite of what we should be seeing right now, which is saying to me, 2025, despite how well Team Super have done, 2025 is kind of a to be forgotten year, right? It's just kind of the year of change. Trump came in end of 2024. This has been a year of him getting his feet under the table, him establishing some form of, I suppose, stability for the crypto market, establishing, treasuries or reserve funds and all that. And in the meantime, we've had the quantitative policies, monetary policies changing, okay? The wind's been changing. So I just see this as a sideways year, sideways down, but a kind of sideways year, and to be kind of forgotten in the wider scheme of the market. And actually, 2026 is the year that should have been 2025. 2026, I think, is going to be a much better year. I do not agree with Ben Cowan. I don't think that we are in a bear market. I do think we're in a bear phase, don't get me wrong. I mean, you'd have to be stupid and deluded beyond all measurements if you think that we are in a, if you think it's bullish. It's not bullish at all. The market isn't bullish. You've got Dex Screener. On some sides of the equation, you've got a 29x, being achieved. But I mean, the market as a whole is absolutely destroyed, right? It is destroyed. But I think that you've got to just believe in karmic forces, okay? It's just like when you have a really bad day, right? And things just seem like they go wrong all the time. And then you go to sleep depressed. You wake up the next day, you feel good, right? You feel fine. And then the day goes well. And that's what happens in cryptocurrency. You've got your bear and you've got your bull phases. Sometimes it's bearish, sometimes it's bullish. What we have had in 2025 is holistically a bear year. All right? We have seen this has just been a negative year. Now, 2026, in my opinion, is going to be different, and 2026 is actually the post-halving year, not the post-euphoria year, the post-halving year. And I believe that this is where we're going to see the potential end, but the beginning of a very euphoric kind of season. Now, I have to caveat this, okay? Because in my opinion, the crypto market is not what it was. Okay, that's something that I think that you've got to accept. The crypto market isn't what it was. Okay, so although it says, you know, on CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko there are 17,000 cryptocurrencies, there isn't. There's 37 million cryptocurrencies now. And do you care anymore about a lot of these, what are household names? Do you care about any of them anymore? Are these the kind of cryptocurrencies that you're interested in now? Ask yourself this question honestly, okay? You know, do you care about most of these top 100 coins? And I gotta say that unless you are one of those permanent moon boys, just a permanent, oh, it's going to go up, it's going to go up, all season's going to happen, every coin's going to go up, and it's going to do a 10 to 50x. Unless you're one of those idiots, then you've got to admit to yourself, do you care anymore about any of these? No. In 2021 you cared, in 2017 you cared, in 2025 you don't care. Why? Because now we've got 37 million cryptocurrencies, and now there are coins that actually speak to you. Okay, coins that are about identity. You know, coins that you have more of an emotional pull to and more of a will to hold, a will to buy, and a will to be a fan of. You know, because let's face it, the only reason people were fans of these coins, VeChain, Cosmos, Arbitrum, Aptos, Casper, the only reason people were fans of these coins is because they belonged in a different era, and the people who are still fans of these coins belong in a different era. They have not caught up to date with the crypto market as it stands now. Most of these coins will, at their absolute best, make a 5x. Okay, at their absolute best, and I'm talking about, you know, going down the totem pole in terms of market cap. But the fact of the matter is that there's too many cryptocurrencies to share the liquidity that they are not going to pump anywhere near what people think they will. So if you are a holder of Dogecoin, Cardano, Chainlink, Hyperliquid, Litecoin, Toncoin, Uniswap, Polkadot, like, you're in the past. You're not gonna be making it rich. There's no chance of it. There's zero chance of it. And I know this because I've made money off of these coins. Like, you know, I got Bitcoin at 1,000, Ethereum at like 80, BNB at 78 cents, Solana at $1, Cardano at 1.9 cents, if you've watched me long enough. That I know that those opportunities are gone, long gone. They are long gone. All right? Now, there are too many coins. It's not like the S&P and the Dow Jones. It's not like that. You know, there are finite amounts of assets, risk-on stocks that you can buy. All right? There's a finite amount. You have to get listed. And there is all sorts of regulation there. Right? And so it keeps the supply of companies short. Right? So you can only invest in the best. Right? They can't do that in cryptocurrency. That's not how it works. The people's power is in decentralized exchanges anyway, right? So now people love coins that aren't even listed on Binance and Coinbase. They don't care about those now. You know, if you were listed on Binance, used to be a flex. In 2025, if you got listed on Binance, that guaranteed you a 90% drop after listing. So no one cares anymore about that. The crypto market has now actually evolved by devolving. Okay, so now you don't care about these cryptocurrencies. You care about the ones that speak to you. And once upon a time, Bitcoin spoke to you. Once upon a time, Bitcoin was that asset. All right? I mean, it still is the number one. Let's face it. It's still, you know, I suppose, Brad Pitt of Hollywood male actors, right? But it doesn't speak to you anymore because the gains aren't there. It's there if you want to outperform the stock market. That's what it's there for. What the hell? My Bitcoin scarf has gone skeweth. It doesn't talk to you anymore, right? So now the market is interested in, retail are now interested in, right, where can I make money? So although you get, the top YouTubers still pulling in the top views, what's actually happening is nothing's happening, but people are getting wrecked. That's all that's happening. And actually, the appetite is in the lower end of the cryptocurrency market. It is in finding cryptocurrencies that speak to you. Cryptocurrencies that make you feel like family. Why? Because the whole world has gone faceless. The whole world has become almost desensitized to emotion, good feeling, love. Like, it's not there anymore. It doesn't exist anymore, right? And now what cryptocurrencies represent, particularly at the top level, Hyperliquid, Chainlink, all this lot, Bitcoin Cash and shit coins like this, is they represent the world at this point. They represent the apathy. People don't care about this stuff. They're just old names. Okay, yes, they'll make some gains. Of course they will, purely because of, herd mentality. But people don't care. People don't listen to what these YouTubers say. They don't say, Bitensor or Render. Oh, I really, really want in on, deep in cryptocurrencies. People don't care about that. What people like are animals, mascots, meme coins. Okay? So if we have a look at the types of cryptocurrency that has fared very well in 2025, it's been meme coins. Meme coins is this brown line. Okay? Meme coins have been the leader this year. This is showing the evolution of cryptocurrency, whilst 99% of what I would call the establishment of crypto YouTubers, they hate meme coins. You will never see No BS Crypto, House of Crypto, Alex Becker, Elio Trades, Virtual Baker, none of them talking about meme coins, other than elite ones, like Dogecoin or SHIB or Pepe or stupid shit like that, right? They're behind in the dust. They just don't get it. I've understood all of 2025, and we've made gains despite everyone getting wrecked. We have made gains because we recognized early that meme coins are where it's at. It just is. Meme coins give, it's not just a joke. Like, if you do look on deck screen, like most of these, because they're 99%, I'd say 100% of every coin in this list is shit. They're crap coins, right? They're total rubbish meme coins, right? So this is not what I'm talking about when I'm talking about meme coins. What I'm talking about is the meme coins that sit in a class that talk to people, that are communities, that are families, that have fans, that reach a target audience, that may be a movement. A movement just like how Bitcoin was once upon a time before it just became an ETF, an ETP, whatever. A kind of institutionally traded asset, right? Bitcoin once upon a time, because I've been around in this market a long time, and I remember the early feelings of Bitcoin and the Bitcoin community and Bitcoin maxis. And this was a movement at the time. Once upon a time, you had Jamie Dimon calling this a scam. You had presidents saying, this is a waste of time. This is rubbish. This is a nothing. Peter Schiff and all these people that have always slammed Bitcoin. So it became a movement to the anti-establishment. It's not that anymore. And none of these coins are. So the way to understand crypto in this era is that you need to be looking at cryptocurrencies that A, talk to you, B, have that community pull, have that community attraction, and just be going for them. And at the same time, they must have a low market cap. I do see the thesis of investing in like SPX. I do see the thesis, but I don't see the execution being what people are hoping for, which is life-changing money. People don't come into cryptocurrency to turn 1,000 into 2,000 or 1,000 into 1,100. People come into cryptocurrency to turn $1,000 into $100,000, $1,000 into $1 million. That's what crypto is there for. That's how I've always treated crypto. Crypto is a vehicle. It's a money printing machine, okay? Where you put in 1,000 and you take out 10,000. Or you put in 1,000, you take out 50,000. That's what crypto is, right? It's kind of like a safer roulette wheel, okay? Where you are putting big money in, but the chances of losses are not as bad as a roulette wheel, because there's a 1 in 36 chance of your number coming up. It's very, very small. In cryptocurrencies and meme coins, you've got a kind of 1 in 5 chance of getting gains, and probably, I'd say probably 1 in 100 chance of actually retiring. But for some reason, you know, roulette, you're chucking your money on one shot. Like, this is an ever-changing picture. Now, a lot of the coins that you see here, and you'll know my favorites, okay? I don't really need to make many bones about it. To me, Doge is what Bitcoin represented when I first joined cryptocurrency. Like, Doge represents the anti-establishment movement. It represents, you know, the name is absolute perfection. Because what you've got here is a meme name. It's basically combining the greatest meme coin of all time, which is Doge, with the safest asset class of all time, which is the Dow Jones, if you're looking to invest in stocks. So it's created the perfect name, but what it stands for as a movement, what it stands for philosophically and spiritually, is what Bitcoin stood for at the beginning. It's a big middle finger up to the 1% of wealth, the rich getting richer. Bitcoin is now the rich getting richer. That's what it is. Bitcoin, as it has been for probably the last 3 or 4 years, has been a wealth preserver. It's not a wealth generator. Okay, it's a wealth preserver of the upper classes in terms of monetary and net worth value. Doge represents, this is the asset to be in the 1% of wealth. This is the asset that makes you rich versus something like Bitcoin, right? So this is a movement that takes Bitcoin back to its early beginnings. This is Bitcoin in 2010. So you'll know this is my favorite movement. And actually, I have seen the new website. Well, I've seen, you know, it in progress. And I can tell you that, to me anyway, Doge is now by far the best meme coin you can buy. It is. This is something special. To call it a meme coin, I believe, brings its overall value down, because it's not just a meme coin, in my opinion. This is something special. This is an asset that, put it this way, over the next year and 3 years, people are going to know to love and join. Okay, because this to me is Bitcoin 2.0. So everybody knows I love this one. The other one is Pengo. Now, Pengo, Petro Penguins, and Doge, both of these are a collective. They are almost like, it's almost like you're getting 2 for the price of 1 with these two, right? Because they're both flipping evil markets. Okay, so Pengo is flipping the oil market. Doge is flipping the Dow Jones stock market. They're both evil markets, okay? They are both where the rich get richer, the corrupt get rich, and the poor or the defenseless get destroyed, okay? Petro Penguins is about penguins that are being destroyed by oil spills, right? So this is a movement against the oil market. And it's not just that. It's the price of oil. It's the oil magnates. It's the oil oligarchs. It's all the people in the oil market are extremely rich through corrupt practices. But they get rich and they don't get sanctioned. They don't get penalized. They just get richer, right? So therefore, Doge and Pengo represent coins for the anti-establishment, coins for the disadvantage to win. And that's why these two are winning coins, and that's why these two will speak to the masses. Because I will not give up on them. You will see that in the last month, while the market's been bearish, instead of doing nothing, which I'd like to do, I'd like to just not make a video. I'd like to just not bother, right? I would like to just sit back and just let this bear phase evaporate, and then the bull market comes along and do an Alex Becker and only make videos when the market's bullish. I'd love to do that. I'd love to have that luxury. But I don't. You know why? Because I care. I care. Alex Becker doesn't care. He doesn't care about Destra. He doesn't care about Pinlink. He doesn't care about any of these coins. He only cares about them when they are a vehicle to get views on YouTube, to broaden his audience, to get more views, to get more ad revenue. That's how he cares about Pinlink and Destra. And that's why he doesn't have to make a video right now. He doesn't care if everybody's losing money on Destra and Pinlink. He doesn't give a shit. What's it matter to him? All right? All he does is put pointless platitudes on X and says, bull markets all season, ETH to 25k. Right? That's just bullshit. That's all a load of crap. Okay? The guy is an entertainer and he's not a crypto commentator and he doesn't care about crypto. Right? A person who cares about crypto to the core is me. Why? Because I've been in this market for 8 years. Nearly 9. Okay? I'm 3 months away from it being 9 years. Right? And you're not in the crypto market for 9 years if you don't care. Right? You can only do this day in, day out. Go through the soul-crushing experience of these bear phases if you love the game. And I love the game. I believe I was brought here for a higher calling. That calling was crypto. I believe I was born for this. And that's why I've been so successful. That's why I've had more than 1,000 X's. It's because I was born for this. I understand it. And that's why I am determined to make everyone know, and will continue to, until I can't any longer. Until my voice goes, or whatever. I won't stop until Dausch and Pengo are known by everyone. I won't stop. And right now, even though people are not buying, people don't want to buy, I'm still talking about these, and as far as I'm concerned, still buying them, because to me, they are going to go far. I don't need for there to be any crypto YouTubers to be in these. I love the ones that do. Crypto Queen Amy, Win All Day, 100x Crypto Gems. Those guys are awesome because they talk about these coins. You know, they get it. They understand the market. Right? I mean, some calls that are made by some of these people are junk, right? But they also are talking about creme de la creme coins. And Dausch being one of them. You know, this one is going to go far. This one is going to be known. Believe me. Like Doge, everybody knows the name Doge. So adding one letter and slightly changing the name to Dausch is going to be something that is easily assimilated by people. People are going to easily absorb Dausch as a name. And they already did. Okay? This went to a 90 million market cap based on that. This is going to go far. I will not rest until everyone knows about Dausch, whether or not they buy it or not. So you'll have Virtual Bacon, Alex Becker, Ben Cowan, Crypto. They'll watch my videos and they'll be like, no, I'm not going to touch Dausch. They'll all know about it though. Everyone is going to know. Murad knows. Everyone knows about Dausch. Like, everybody does know. They just won't admit it. They won't say they've got their own bags to pump, and they haven't got a bag in Dausch. But eventually, it will be known, and it will spread like wildfire. Believe me, because you only have to look at the video I made on my pre-recorded channel, on the Suppoman channel, on Dausch, to see the exact reason why this will pump. Because this went to an $87 million market cap in hard mode. And what you've got now is you've got the Giga Chads, the Popcats, the Muse, the Mogs, Fartcoin. You've got everything absolutely crashing. And yet Dausch remains strong. Why? Because people get it. People understand why they're buying Dausch. They are part of a community that are the core believers of the crypto movement. Crypto should and always should be classed as the anti-establishment asset class. It should never be part of the mainstream. It should never be like Wall Street. It should never be in the hands of the stockbrokers, the wealth managers, the banks. It should not be in their, it should not be their asset. They should not control it. This should be the degenerative stock market. And Doge is the purest of degenerative stocks because it's anti-establishment, it's a movement. Okay? It appeals to everyone. It targets everyone. It targets everyone who is in pain. Everyone who's in pain with losses. Everyone who's in pain with loneliness. Everybody who's in pain with the wealth gap. The socio-economical gap. You know, there's very much a movement right now. You can look across all media. They want to, what's the word? What's the word? They want to disempower people. They want to disempower people and just give more power to the greater. They want to emasculate people. Right? And Doge sits against that. Doge is taking power back. And similar is Pengo. These, to me, are the two assets of absolute most importance to me. Next, we will talk about others. Okay? So I'm going to go through step by step because I'm sure all of you are wanting an update on these assets. Should you buy? Should you still hold? Should you sell? What does Suppoman think of these assets? Now, F9 to 5, let's start with that. F9 to 5 is a movement about basically being able to retire from your 9 to 5 and using crypto as an asset class to do that. So this could be classed as a movement, okay? Similar to All Will Retire, okay? It's what crypto is about, F the 9 to 5, okay? Now, do I think this is as strong as Doge or Pengo? No, not even close. Having said that, I still do think that given the market cap where it is right now, this has got a potential $25 million market cap in bullish times, like in euphoric times. Pandas, again, I think this one's got extraordinary potential. Will it reach the elite level? No. Stream season, I think this one won't necessarily reach the elite level because the more Alex Becker doesn't talk about cryptos, the more that people will forget this coin even existed. But this is Alex Becker's first ever created meme coin. So to me, when Alex Becker comes back, if Pump.Fun, let's just assume that 2026 is going to be that post-halving year after all, right? And Pump.Fun comes back and they capitalize on the early momentum they captured when they turn into a streaming platform. Then Alex Becker, this will go straight to #1 for interest because he's the #1 YouTuber. People will say arguably it's Coin Bureau, but people don't care about Coin Bureau. Like his words are no longer influential. Like he is trustworthy, but he is no longer influential. Alex Becker is the most influential name in cryptocurrency, regardless of how well he knows the game, right? He is the most influential. He's the most charismatic name in cryptocurrency. And that's why, in my opinion, alt season, stream season, he says alt season so much, he should have just called it alt season, for God's sake. But stream season, I think, has got great potential. One video, this one will absolutely skyrocket. Millennial, these guys have been a letdown, okay? In my opinion, right now, these guys have totally fucked up, okay? And they've still got a brand which is savable, but their momentum has turned people off, and it's very, very difficult to come back when you've lost the confidence. Like, something that Pengo and Doge have not done is lost confidence. These are strong. The teams are brilliant. They are constantly active. They, at a whim, could get a listing. Okay? Both Doge and Petro Penguins. They both could get a listing. At a whim. But what's the point in getting a listing right now? Because it won't be appreciated. Right? So at this point, coins are in standby mode. They're doing enough to stay active. And if they're not, they're shit. Right? And now Millennial, at this point, they're not doing enough to stay active. They're not in standby mode. They are essentially what looks like almost in exit mode. right? Now, it's up to them to change that, but it's not up to me. That's their problem. Leah AI requires an AI season. Feetcoin, this is in standby mode from what I have seen. They're still putting out fantastic content, but let's face it, the more aggressive you are at a time like this, it leads to burnout. So as far as I'm concerned, what I've seen from Feetcoin is good enough to hold them in good stead for when the market comes back. We Love Ass, I have spoken at length with We Love Ass. I have tried to get them on a path where Tits was, okay? Because I know why Tits succeeded, right? Now, unfortunately, Tits succeeded at a time when X was not so regulated like it is right now. Like, you're seeing meme coins lose their X accounts very, very quickly nowadays. And We Love Us is an unfortunate victim of this, where they have had their X hidden. Basically, you search for ass, you can't find it. You could still find Tits, right? So it just goes to show that I'm trying to get them onto a path where they can be like Tits again, and I haven't sold the majority of We Love Ass. Housecoin, I think that these guys, this is a RWA meme, so it takes a bit, but I still think it's the best RWA meme that exists, and actually, in my opinion, the best RWA coin that exists. But we're so far from an RWA season that it's not a surprise to see it even at this market cap, and I bought it over 10x higher. Omega Health, this one I think is poised to be a beauty, and I think that the fact that it still remains at just over 500,000 market cap is an indication that these guys are still working hard in hard mode. This is the hardest mode I have ever seen crypto in, and I've seen some horrid environments in cryptocurrency where you see coins pulling out, you see coins they're exiting. Right? They have exited under way worse circumstances than we're in right now. And the fact that Omega Health has remained strong in this kind of market shows this is going to fly in easy mode, right? Low cap, these guys have pretty much died from what I have seen. Mirai, just like every coin in AI, has come down dramatically because AI is not attractive right now. But again, it's going to come back. Same for Aria. Aria are doing a lot of work behind the scenes. WTF Games, this seems very far from an alt season because it relies on games, and games haven't been relevant since 2023. Kite Coin, this is one that I think outside of Doge and Pengo has a real chance of making a violent comeback. Seeing it under 1 million right now, in my opinion anyway, to me, I think gives you, if 2026 is going to be as strong as I think it's going to be, this gives you a perfect price to accumulate at, because, I think that this is a $50 million cryptocurrency. It's got all the story. I mean, my love for storytelling. Storytelling is what leads to the success of anything in life. That story of humble. Look at Rocky. Rocky is probably the ultimate story, okay, of just like a regular average boxer who got his shot at the big time, right? That's the story, okay? And I love stories, and Meow tells a fantastic story. The first ever cat meme coin. It's now in an environment where meme coins do well. It's got a much better entry for anybody who missed out on Popcat, Mog, Mew, Toshi. I think that Meow is going to make an insane comeback. Taz is very much like Bitensor on Solana. Doge really needs no introduction. Like, I would not understand the lack of brains into going into selling Doge. I would not understand it. Would you sell, in hindsight, Bitcoin at 10 cents? No, you'd be an absolute moron to have done that. And I do know some of the morons that did that. But, this is a chance to not be a said moron, right? This is a chance to be part of the future. Doge is the future. You've seen me talk about cryptocurrencies in the past at length, like Ethos, Neo, Cardano, coins I helped make. right? And you see what they got to, right? And Doge is the next one. Doge, to me, this is a crime at anything under $1 billion. You have to see what I see. Like you have to get into my mindset. Doge is the best thing that exists in cryptocurrency, and it's only a 8 million market cap. Like, it just doesn't make sense. All retire. I think these guys will do well long term. Their community is solid. They are constantly posting. A great community, in my opinion. Magic, I think that this is going to make a comeback too. I won't say too much more about that, but I know that there's a quite sizable team behind Magic, right? They've reinvented Magic. They've reimagined it. And that has not been appreciated thus far, but it will be. And at 48k market cap, which you probably can't see, but at 48k market cap, you can't really lose. I mean, you can lose, but probably short term. Colin, magnificent. I think it's a very magnificent coin. Limpid needs RWA. Pumpy, I think, is dead. That team, I'm never going to trust the people behind them ever again. GigaChad, don't quite know what's up with them. I haven't caught up with them in a while. I did ask for feedback. They never gave me it. And Suppoman, well, this one I think is going to have one hell of a second chapter. It already had a great chapter going to 10 million. It's going to have a fantastic chapter next time round. Okay? But you've just got to wait. Right? I know. It's a little bit like being a jockey in a horse race. Okay? You're in 8th position. You know you've got the power. You know you can just turn it on. You know you've got the momentum. You got the rhythm. You know you can win. But you just got to hold back. You've got to let the other horses knacker themselves out. And you've just got to be in prime position at the point to start whipping. Okay, maybe not whipping. But, rah, 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 blah, blah, blah. Right? But that's what we're doing right now. What we are doing right now is we are just in 8th place. All right, we're letting everything play out. We're letting the environment play out, the macro environment. We're letting everything that's lagging right now, the interest rate, the quantitative easing, the money supply, liquidity. We're letting it all work itself out. Okay, now in the interim, there may be some more losses to come. Who knows, right? But right now, what we're doing is we are just going steady. We're just staying in 8th. Staying in 8th. Don't turn it on just yet. Don't turn on power just yet. And that's the same with me. I've got all this passion to come out. But I'm keeping it behind. I'm just making sure the people who are watching me are not missing out on the Doges, the Pengos at this point. Because if people need a constant reminder, people need to know what they're holding, and that what they're holding is reliable, is incredibly special, and they just need to know that, right? But at this point, I'm just keeping steady, just staying motivated enough that when the time for the big push to come, that's when I will be striking. And I will strike. I've been in this game long enough to understand exactly how it works. I've been in this game long enough to know that my competition are totally clueless. And I'm just waiting. All right, now I'm not going to take all of these up with me. All right, I'm going to take some up. It depends. What is working for the community? At the end of the day, why meme coins have been arguably the best asset class is because of their abilities to attract, grow, and infuse the community. What I look for in a meme coin is a family. What I look for is a sentiment that people do not want to sell. They think that selling is sacrilege, that selling is like killing a family member. That's what a truly special meme coin makes you feel. That if you are selling it at the low, you are a prize dunce. You should be wearing that cone hat with a D on it That's what a good meme coin does. A bad meme coin makes people feel, I have taken the wrong bet. I have bet on the wrong horse today. And this was a mistake. And I'm going to sell before I've got nothing. That's what a bad meme coin does. And to any of the meme coin founders who watch, which I think are all of them, right? Listen to these words. Keep on with your community. Your community keeps you alive. Not YouTube videos, your community. Why Daush and Pengo are strong is because their communities love them, share them, engage with them, tell other people about it, spread it everywhere. That's why they're great meme coins. That's why they're superb. And the teams, they appreciate that and they capitalize on it by making sure people know we're around, we're here for you, we want the community, we love the community's everything. So if you are a meme coin, whether or not you're on this list, that's how you win. You win through community. You take care of your community, and your community will take care of you. And when it's the right time to strike, you can be assured that Daush and Pengo are not going to be, that they are not going to be left behind. I will be talking about them literally as much as possible. And at the end of the day, why did Daush get to an $87 million market cap? Because I know exactly when and how to strike. And this was in hard mode, people. We haven't had an alt season since December. Imagine if I had the same environment Murad had in December 2024 and Daush came out then. Well, this would not have an M on it. Put it that way. It would not. People would hodl this to death. Even if they lose everything, they'd hodl it to death. That would be how people would feel having bought it back then, right? But people haven't heard about it because the market has been boring this year. And the best indication of how boring the market has been is in the fact that right now, even the best coins in the world have gone down an absolutely catastrophic amount. The best coins in the world, people, have gone down this much. So I know that Daush and Pengo, these two are big winners. Big winners. And you only have to look at their counterparts. Daush with Bitcoin and Pengo with Pengu. Right? Pengu reached a $3 billion market cap. And these guys are well on the way to achieving the exact same. Right, people, before I make a move, let me take some questions from you guys, because I'm conscious that I haven't done so in quite a while, because I haven't been live for ages. So let me know, guys, what questions do you have? Andy Marshall, hi, Suppo, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas! Oh, I love this time of year. I love it so much. Got my Christmas tree is enormous. I feel like I have gotten, if you ever watched Deck the Halls, and in Deck the Halls, basically the town square's big Christmas tree was stolen and put into the house of one of the main characters, and that's what I feel I've got in my lounge. My Christmas tree's giant. It's a beauty of a tree. Jerry Christmas coin, no. None of these stupid Christmas coins, Santa Rally, Santa Inu. Like, if you're buying those, you are literally a moron. You are asking to be exit liquidity. Suppo, so good to see you active in a bear phase. It's motivating. Yeah, you know why? Because I learned from 2020. I was an idiot not making videos like every day back then. I just like, nah, I'm going to wait till 2021. That was stupid. And in the meantime, you had like Coin Bureau basically 10xing in that period. And a load of other really inferior YouTubers becoming massive channels. Troll shit. Crypto Queen Amy, what's your take on apes? I did look at apes actually, and I actually don't think it's too bad a shout, to be honest. I mean, it kind of gives me, I think this one looks okay. I haven't had a proper look at it, but I saw when All Day spoke about it, and I thought, I thought it's okay. I don't think it's very strong, but I don't think it's bad either. I think this one is at a disservice at this kind of market cap, but I don't necessarily feel it's worth millions. What's your top altcoins? Well, I hold, obviously, the majors. Okay, so, I hold Bitcoin, obviously. I mean, probably Bitcoin's my second largest position to Doge. But I hold Bitcoin, I hold Ethereum, I hold a huge amount of Solana. I still hold quite a sizable amount of Cardano, although if I'm honest with you, I don't really care for it. I would rather, to be honest, the next time that Cardano pumps to about 60 cents, I'm probably going to sell my entire lot and just put it on Doge. A lot of these other coins, the Sui, I got a huge position in Sui still. And I mean, that's considering that Sui at this point is 157. Ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of coins in the top, the top coins. But really, the top altcoins to me are Doge and Pengo. They're easily the best. The best and the one I'm going to work hardest for. 2025's up for crypto because of Trump tariffs. Exactly. And as I said, this has been a year of him getting his feet under the table and setting the precedent. I was going to say president. Setting the precedent for how he means to go on. And I think that Donald Trump is going to be the hero ultimately in crypto. But we have to wait and see. But that's what I think. Bitcoin is in a bear market. I believe the 4-year cycle until proven wrong. Yeah, but the 4-year cycle has not played out this year. That's the point I've made. Like, yes, there's an argument to say it doesn't necessarily have to be exact, but it should rhyme, but it hasn't rhymed. It's not even close to rhymed. The hardest alt season that we had was in February and March 2024. Those were the hardest alt seasons. That's the hardest alt season I've ever seen. But to me anyway, this alt season was the equivalent of the startup phase towards euphoria. Like, typically you get your takeoff phase, and this was the takeoff phase. We just haven't had the climax. Ha! That Kermit Frog's crap. Like, I'm not interested in coins that don't speak to me, speak to my identity, speak to my philosophy. And what you've got to remember is, having been in cryptocurrency for 9 years, is that my blood, if I bleed right now, you will see CRYPTO coming out. You won't see red stuff coming out. You will see I am made of crypto. I am crypto. Like, it's in my blood. It's part of me. So I only invest in cryptocurrencies that speak to me. And as a result, speak to the wider market. And that's why Pengo and Doge really speak to me. Super, I started following you in 2017, 2018, bought a lot of shit coins and stopped doing crypto. I give you full marks. You fucking work for your bags and don't forget those. It cut off there. But yes, as far as I'm concerned, most coins I talk about are winning picks, right? Now, I don't control the teams. I'm not in the office with the dev and the marketing people and saying, do this, do these tweets, do these shorts, do these YouTube videos. I don't run these teams. If I ran them, then you'd see a lot. You'd see my coins would be in the top coins. But I don't run them. I don't control them. I only can talk insofar as the story the storyline of what they're creating, the community that they've started to build, and the way they infuse a community. But unless they follow through with the opportunity I've given them, because I give a spotlight, and when the spotlight's on you, that's your time to shine. And if people fuck up, like I've had a few, I'm not going to mention names, but I've had a couple of projects that say to me, oh, the dev owns the X account and the dev's taken the X account, or the dev is or the person that created the coin or is in charge of the supply, is selling the supply, and me as the dev, I have no time for that. Right? If you haven't managed or controlled the situation, then you're on a loser. All right? You need to control the situation in as much as you can. That means making sure the team can't harm or rug people, making sure that there's no rogue people in the team, that if they decided to exit, it wouldn't hurt the community or hurt the coin. I can't control those things, right? But I give a coin an opportunity to shine, and the ones that have done the best are Pengo and Delge. Meow, I think, has a chance of a comeback, but they did... I wouldn't say they ruined it. They had their X account taken away out of their own control. But at the same time, I've given them a lot of pointers they haven't necessarily, they've not executed. I remember the days of Neo, Power Ledger, Ethos, Neurochain, etc. Exactly. I mean, these are all coins that were fantastic. They did very, very well. Because I know what works. I know what works. I know what stories people get infused by. And that's why it works. That's why I'm so good at it. Right, okay, people. I'm going to stop self-aggrandizing now, and I'm going to make a move. But I want to say to you, Merry Christmas, and just be secure in your position in the horse race. Okay? Right now, you're in a losing position. Look, Bitcoin's just gone under 90. You're in a losing position right now. Like, you are feeling you are out of touch with the winning post. You've still got 7 horses in front of you. But what you've got to realize is you have got a horse like Red Rum. You've got a horse that is a thoroughbred, a real high pedigree. And he is operating on half power. And all you need to do is just wait. You see the finishing line in sight, and then you turn on the power, and then you run down everyone. Be content right now in being in 8th, with the potential to come in 1st. Till next time, people, I have been the Suppoman. You have been an awesome audience. I will be back before Christmas Day, but in the meantime, enjoy this wonderful time of year, and I'll see you next time. It is lights out, all out.